This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. We got a question today from the boss, Lord GF. He wants to know why he is slower than dog shit when he lowers the weight on a bench press with 80% or more. If the first question is being slow a problem for you? Are you having trouble making progress? Are you wanting to be faster just because other people are faster or because it's something that you read? Those are important questions to ask yourself, because if you're doing well and you're making progress, nothing else really matters. I can sit here and tell you that you need more force production or you need more rate of force development or whatever. And you can read stuff from Louis Simmons that talks about speed training and various things of that nature. But I've seen people lift in a lot of different ways. Stan Efforting, when he does a squat, takes him a while to get down there. Brian Carroll, when he does a squat, and that's, it's a geared squat, but it takes him a long, long time to get down there. And then wham, he comes up with like a world record squat. So that's the first couple things you're going to want to ask yourself is it really that big of an issue? Is it a problem for you? You're saying that you feel like you lose some energy. And you're also saying that you do speed training. A couple things I'd suggest here is, one, make sure that you're recovered when you're doing your max work, because if you're not healthy, you're not going to move fast at all, ever. So make sure that you're feeling recovered and make sure you're feeling healthy going into your max workouts. Also, on your dynamical days, yes, I called it dynamical. I just went there. On your dynamical days, try to bring rep number uno down as fast as you possibly can. So you're not going to come down. A lot of times you see rep number one is brought down real slow, and then it's a try to bring rep number one down faster. Try to drop it down in there. Maybe even you only do singles on your max effort day, since that seems to be where your problem is. Also, you may want to try to use more weight on your dynamic effort days. Sounds to me like maybe it's not transferring over because you might not have enough weight on your dynamic days. Now, normally I would suggest for a lot of people to lower their weight on their dynamic days so they can build up more force and build up more speed. But in your case, you're having a little bit of a more specific issue, and I think that you should try to go a little bit heavier. And when I say a little bit heavier, I'm talking about like 10 or possibly 20% more weight than what you're currently using. So maybe you do the first 2-3 sets with like the weight you normally use, and then add 20 pounds and do 2-3 sets. Then add another 20 pounds, do another 2-3 sets. Add another 20 pounds, do another 2-3 sets. Something like that. Yes, I said tree. Do something like that. Maybe do like 10 sets of one or something along those lines, and try to bring rep number uno down faster. It could be more of a mental thing. You want to think to yourself, I need to get this weight off of me as quickly as I possibly can. So you're going to want to try to do the down fast, up fast deal. Also, lifting with chains, more so than the bands in some ways, in my opinion, can kind of teach you to outrun the weight. And you want to set the chains up so that they deload. The bands can kind of teach you that as well, but the chains are supposed to be nearly 100% deloaded at the bottom of the lift. So that if you have 315 pounds of bar weight on there with 100 pounds of chains per side, it's still only about 315 at the bottom. So when you go to unrack 515 pounds, if you're smart, you're going to want to lower that sucker fast and get that shit off of you as quickly as you can and get it to be 315 as fast as you can. So the chains are deloaded. So you want to kind of outrun the chains almost, outthink them, outquick them, outspeed them. So drop the weight down quickly. Make sure you're in the proper groove. Hate that word. Make sure you're in the proper groove, and then shove that weight back up, and hopefully you have enough speed to make it through the lift. Another thing that will help you tremendously is board pressing, hitting up some heavy boards. So this would be another thing for you to try on your dynamic days. Maybe do this 2 weeks on, 1 week off. On your dynamic days before you do your speed work, work up to heavy sets of 5 with a close grip. We need to get in about 3 sets of 5. 3 good sets of 5 reps off of a 3 or 4 board. If you don't have boards, make them, or use some telephone books, or stack up a couple Bibles, or bench off of a football. Find something to bench off of. Some gyms have like those ab mat deals, and I know some people have benched off of those. I don't know. Find something to bench press off. It doesn't really matter what it is, but something that's only going to make you move the bar, 6 to 8 inches or something along those lines. More towards the lockout. But the point here is when you overload like that, and speaking of overload, you can also get a slingshot, and a slingshot will teach you to go faster with heavier weights because now you have some support. But back to the boards here for a second. The overload, when you overload your body like that and you start to handle these big weights, start to handle 400 or 500 pounds when you're only benching 365 or so, when you go to unrack 365, your body tells you, hey, this weight's okay for us to move around. In basic terms. So now you can lower that weight a lot faster. Your body's going to be more ready to lower those weights faster if it feels lighter to you. Hopefully that shit helps you out. I got a couple other questions here to get to. Try to get to one more. Let's see if any of these are any good. Some of these are stupid. Okay, this guy's got a question about deadlifting. This is from Clementin Ho 04 from YouTube, and he wants to know he's a stronger sumo deadlifter than he is conventional, and he wants to know if he should switch to sumo entirely. I would say no. The strongest deadlifter, the greatest deadlifter that ever lived, Ed Cohn, 901 deadlift at 220 pounds, an 887 deadlift conventional, a 901 deadlift sumo, both lifts done raw, I believe. Guy was unbelievable. But basically, the last 6 weeks running into a contest, he would do sumo. All before that, he would always do conventional pulling. And the reason for that was he always felt like he needed to build up his lower back. He also built up his lower back not only with conventional deadlifting, but with stiff leg deadlifts and with bent over rows. Every single workout, nearly every single workout after he did his regular heavy deadlift training, he would follow it up with stiff leg deadlifts, and then he'd follow that up with bent over rows. Nearly every time. For years on end, he'd do that. And he continued to improve and make a lot of progress and hit huge numbers. One reason, and you mentioned it here, is you're concerned about your hips getting beat up, getting killed. Another reason to wear powerlifting gear. If you're not into powerlifting gear that much, you might want to look into getting some sort of squat suit, a hardcore squat suit from Inzer Advanced Designs, or a pair of power pants, or even something along the lines of they make a deadlift suit called a Max DL, and that will help protect the hips, the groin, and all that stuff. If you don't want to get into powerlifting gear at all, if you just think it's a ridiculous concept, which you shouldn't. You should embrace it because it's going to allow you to lift more weight and allow you to lift more weight safely. If you don't want to get in any powerlifting gear, just be careful with it. Just don't overutilize the sumo pull. Don't overutilize wide stance squats. And if you start to overutilize both of them, your hips will tell you that you're an idiot and you'll be in tremendous amounts of pain. Also, you're going to want to go on mobilitywod.com, check out some stuff over there to mobilize those hips and open things up a little bit so you can deadlift more comfortably. And that is it from supertraining.tv. Later.